Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I am Shabina Mahmood and I am over here again with you with the next chapter related to the book of your 10th class, and the chapter name is A World Without Books. It is also a very informative and related chapter that is a basic need of our society. But in this lecture I will not discuss out the chapter. I will discuss all the grammatical contents that are important from this chapter and the exercise, and in the next chapter we will discuss the chapter passage by passage so that it will be easy to understand the theme of that chapter for all of you. Now I am coming towards the first grammatical objective, and the first grammatical objective is we will learn about the relative pronouns, we will learn about the adjective clause, we will learn about the second conditionals, and we will learn about the comparative adjective, and we will learn about the adjective phrase while we are going to analyze this chapter and its exercise. So all these grammatical objectives which are present in front of you are important, and you have to base out your study on these grammatical contents because you have to solve out the exercise and you have to pick out all these things from the chapter also for the paper. Now I am coming towards the first grammatical objective, that is relative pronoun, and I am going to explain this relative pronoun in front of you. Before going towards relative pronoun, I am going to give you a brief note that what is a pronoun. Define a pronoun in front of me. Yes, a pronoun is a noun. A pronoun is a word which is used in the place of noun. And now I am coming towards relative pronoun. You can see on the board that it takes the place of a noun or pronoun. How? How it takes the place of a noun or a pronoun? Because they always relate back to someone or something else. How? They relate to someone or something else. Examples are over here, and I am going to show you the complete description of all the relative pronouns. Examples are over here: who, whose, whom, which, and that. All these are the relative pronouns. Now I am coming towards the usage and implication of all these pronouns, that how these pronouns are used in the sentences. Here on the screen you can see that I have given you out a complete precise chart in which I have given you out the usage of all these pronouns, and I will give you the examples of all these pronouns as well. The first pronoun is who. Replace the subject pronoun I, she, he, we, and they. These subject pronouns are replaced by this pronoun. An example is, this is the man who broke the window. Now I am coming towards the next one. Whose. Show possession or relationship. When you have to show any possession or relationship, then you will use this relative pronoun. She knew the family whose house we bought. Whom. Replace the object pronouns me, her, him, us, and them. They have found the lady whom they want to interview. Now I am coming towards which. Clauses that begins with which are almost always non-restrictive. My precious blue lamp which was in the room was broken. That. Clauses that begin with that are almost restrictive clauses. The lamp that was in the room was broken. Okay students, this is a complete description of the usage and the usage in sentences also, so that you can easily understand and completely understand the concept of relative pronoun, and you can pick out a relative pronoun if it is used in a sentence, whether it is from the book and whether it is outside of your related book. Now I am coming towards the next grammatical objective, which is we have to read about the adjective clause. The students, when we are going to discuss the adjective clause, you must know about the adjectives first. The word which is going to describe a noun is called an adjective, as I have given you out the complete detailed lectures on the adjective separately, and now I am going to discuss adjective clauses. I have discussed out adjective clauses also before, but I am going to discuss it as it is compulsory related to this chapter. That's why I am going to discuss it again. Okay, and now I am coming towards adjective clause. Adjective clause ko discuss when I am going to discuss the adjective clause in front of you over here on the board. These are a type of subordinate clause that act as an adjective. Now what is the type of subordinate clause which act as an adjective? It has two main characteristics, and these two characteristics characteristics will help us to understand the role of subordinate clause when it is going to act as an adjective. First characteristic is that modify the noun or pronoun. Now you can see that example is over here. That is the road that leads to the market. Here we are going to describe that leads to a market. This is an adjective clause which is going to describe the road. So here is a link between these two things, that the road is going to describe by the use of this complete description, and this complete description is the subordinate clause which is used as an adjective in this sentence. Now I am coming towards the second characteristics. It can be used as subject or object. How it can be used as subject or object? That is the policeman who caught the thief. Here who word is going to show that you are talking about the policeman, and you are directly going to describe the policeman by caught the thief, by the act of that policeman. So here this object is described out by the relation of who, and this who is the subordinate clause in this subject, in this sentence, which is used as an adjective. So students, this will surely help you, this detail will surely help you to understand the usage and the characteristics and the properties and the definition of the adjective clause. Now I am coming towards the next grammatical concept, and this is the concept of second conditionals. I have given you out a complete detailed note about all type of conditionals in my first lecture related to class 9, and this lecture was a complete comprehended lecture which will give you a complete detail about all the conditionals, about all type of conditionals, and the single lecture, in the single lecture. But now I am coming towards this one, the second conditions, and I am going to describe it again for you, so that if you are going to prepare only this exercise, so it will be easy for you to understand all the concepts. Okay students, when I am going towards the second conditional, I am going to tell you the formation of these conditionals. If plus past tense plus would plus base form. This example will surely help you to understand the condition. If I were you, I had tell her. What is the condition? This one is the condition. Here this one is the condition. If, then condition, and then you will show the result. This one is the formation of the second conditionals, which I am going to tell you in a very precise and in a very simple manner, so that you will be easily understand this one. But if you want to go to complete detail, and if you want to go to more detail, then you have to go back, as I have told you that I have given a complete lecture on conditionals. Now I am coming towards the next grammatical objective, that is comparative adjectives. Comparative adjectives are over here, but I have told you what are the adjectives so that you will be easily understand the comparative adjectives. Adjectives are the words that are used to describe a noun. Now I am coming towards comparative adjectives. These adjectives are used to compare two objects or things. For example, the elephant is bigger than the mouse. Here the word bigger is going to describe the elephant and is going to compare these two things also. So this word is a comparative adjective. Now on the screen you can see a precise chart in which I have given you out three types of comparative adjectives, and these will surely help you to understand which type of comparative adjective is used. For example, form is, if you are going to use ER with the first adjective, then you will use than with this one. Bigger than, smaller than, nicer than, taller than, shorter than, stronger than, weaker than, longer than. Then you can use IER. It depends upon the formation of the word, and if you are going to change Y, then you will use IER in the replacement of Y. Easier than, busier than, prettier than, heavier than, funnier than, smaller than, happier than, friendlier than, etc. And if you are going to form more than, then you will write down more beautiful than, more dangerous than, more intelligent than, more understanding than, more complex than, more interesting than, more difficult than, and more frustrating than. Okay students, this precise chart will surely help you to understand the use and the coming of the comparative adjectives in a sentence. Now I am coming towards the last grammatical objective, that is the use of adjective phrase, and I have to tell you what is an adjective phrase. Okay students, adjective phrase is over here on the board. It is a prepositional phrase used to modify or describe a noun. Examples are over here. The books in the library. Here we are talking about the books that are present in the library. So the library, in the library word is an adjective phrase over here in the sentence, are well organized. Now I am coming towards the next example. During the spring, the vegetables of all kinds. Here of all kinds adjective phrase is used to describe these vegetables. So this is an adjective phrase in the sentence, grow in our garden. So students, this is a complete lecture that is going to describe in front of you all the grammatical objectives that are important from the chapter A Word Without Books. In the next lecture I will give you out a complete description of all the passages one by one with their important words and their complete grammatical description. Students, till then you have to wait for me. I will be with you inshallah ta'ala as soon as possible. Allah Hafiz.